Welcome, guys. Good to see you yesterday. And those who we missed, it's glitching a little bit. Just give me the thumbs up if everything's okay on your end. I want to make sure that I am actually live because it's glitching on my end. But if not, I'm just going to carry on. Good seeing everybody yesterday. I'm actually going to spend the class today, again, just demonstrating for you some of the techniques that we were working on yesterday so that next time when we're performing, it's just a matter of drilling it. Okay? So let's start off with warming up. We'll just bow first, facing me. Chariya. Yeah. Your right hand up. Student oath number 1, I shall observe the tenets of Taekwondo, courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, indomitable spirit. Number 2, I shall respect the instructors and seniors. Number 3, I shall never misuse Taekwondo. Number 4, I shall be a champion of freedom and justice. Number 5, I shall rebuild a more peaceful world. Hands down. All right, from here, jumping jacks. Hana, 2, zep, net, das, yas, yogo, yoro, aho, yo, Hana, 2, zep, net, das, yas, yogo, yoro, aho, yo, Hana, 2, zep, net, daso, yaso, yogo, yoro, aho, yo. From here, right leg back, where he's gonna do blitz reverse on the spot. Ready, Hana, 2, zep, net, das, yas, yogo, yoro, aho, yo. Other side, Hana, 2, zep, net, das, yas, yogo, yoro, aho, yo. All right, from here, 1 count, 1 squat. Hana, 2, zep, net, das, yas, yogo, yoro, aho, yo. Hana, 2, zep, net, daso, yaso, yogo, yoro, aho, yo. All right, going back into that blitz, we're just gonna blitz on the spot, but we're using our legs now. So just like that, 1, 2. Ready, hands up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And switch to the other side. Hana, 2, zep, net, das, yas, yogo, yoro, aho, yo. And paro, and sha. All right, from here, knuckle push-ups. We're gonna go 30 straight on our knuckles. Ready? And go. Hana, 2, zep, net, das, yas, yogo, yoro, aho, yo. Hana, 2, zep, net, daso, yaso, yogo, yoro, aho. 20. Hana, 2, zep, net, daso, yaso, yogo, yoro, aho. 30. And from here, sitting down on the floor, 1 leg out straight. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, bring your body down. Hana, 2, zep, net, daso, yaso, yogo, yoro, aho, yo. Switch. Hana, 2, zep, net, daso, yaso, yogo, yoro, aho, yo. Standing up. All right, rotate our arms back and forward and hips, both directions. All right, bring your right leg back, fighting stance. We're actually gonna do guarding block. We'll do the same kick as we did yesterday. So forward, back, switch. The first kick will be front snap kick, turn kick. And 1, 2, step, up, das, yes. There we go. Yellow. All right, next one. Downward kick. Side kick, downward kick. Side, down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And shot. Side splits. I'm gonna hold it for 20 seconds. Let's go a little bit lower, hands on your hips. 8 more seconds. Let's turn over. Front foot this way. And let's go to the other side. Excellent. Sitting down. Let's try those hammer sit-ups again. The Olympics that we did yesterday. I think we did 12 yesterday, so we're gonna try and do that one more time today. 12, nice and clean, try your best. And then sitting down in this position once we're done. Lying down on their back. Make sure when you go back, lying down, your hands are straight this way. Okay, then they go back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and put it. Excellent. Let's bring our feet together. Inhale. Exhale. Body down. Ana. To. Set. Net. Taso. Yaso. Elgo. Yoro. Aho. Yo. Ana. To. Set. Net. Taso. Yaso. Elgo. Yoro. Aho. And standing up. Okay. Switch our uniform. Okay, we're gonna do 2 variation hooking kicks. One is to reach as far as possible. So when I throw this kick, my base leg turns that way. Okay, that's how it looks. And the second one is this variation, boom. Okay, hooking, returning. And I want us to perform it in sequence, in a combination. So the first one, my hands are up. I lift up my knee, I throw it out. And from here, I step off. Okay? 1 count, both kicks. I will go on an angle so you can see the extension, and then stepping off. Ana. To. That. So. And let's try the other leg. Ana. Two. Set. Net. Last one. That's all. And throw. Shot. All right. Bring your one leg forward and continue our stretching. Tuck your leg forward. Hana. Two. Set. Net. Taso. Yaso. Ilgup. Yoro. Ahop. Switch it up. Bring it forward. Hana. Two. Set. Net. Taso. Yaso. Elgo. Yoro. Ahop. Yo. Let's bring our forearms down. Ana. Two. Set. Net. Taso. Yaso. Elgo. Yoro. Ahop. Let's switch it up. Ana. Two. Set. Net. Taso. Yaso. Elgo. Yoro. Ahop. And standing up. Tiro Torada 6 uniform. And pro. Shot. Excellent job. Okay, so we're going to go back to Chungun. And check my group here. Okay, we got some black belts. All right. So first of all, I just wanted to mention that the palm upward block in the beginning of Chungun, okay, you guys are starting to pick it up, you're getting it. And I wanted to just affirm that for you so that you know that you're practicing it right. One thing I would add though, because you guys are all bringing it out, pulling it back far enough. Before you were pulling it too short. You're going 1, 2. Now you're pulling it back far enough. But one thing I would add is a deeper dip. So 1, okay, dip. Because the backwards motion portion, the dipping and the backwards, that's where you want to extend motions. Like even in low block to middle punch, here. The more we could emphasize that without overdoing it, obviously, like you don't want to dip this deep and so forth. Like the more we would extend it, create the backwards motion, the more our movements look big, the more powerful it'll look. Okay, so let's do that together. I'll do like 5 in each side. Boom, so you know the exercises. Okay. One last thing too, on the rear foot stance, if you look at my feet, remember that rear foot stance, your foot is kind of out. Like your heel, the back heel should line up with your front toe. It shouldn't be inside. It should be out, so it has enough width. Okay, so when you throw this technique, that way, let's do it together. I'll go that way and that way. Ready? Hana. Go. Yep. Yep. That's up. That's up. All right. Moving on from that, I'm gonna work on the back fist release punch. So yesterday, you guys were performing it correctly. Everything was stepping out was right. I'm just gonna add the rotary motion from here, that part, plus the isolated motion, isolated movements. Isolated means typically when we do any form of movement, other parts of our body moves with it. In Chungun, there's this portion where your reaction force, which is this, it acts isolated from the body. So we go 1, it extends out on its own without any movement from the other parts of the body. Just like that, it places out. And when it places out, the back fist faces upward so that you could twist it in. Because the purpose of this coming out is to react. It adds a reaction for this motion. So all we're doing is placing. It's not a punch. 1, place it out. Then you perform the rest. Okay? Second isolated movement. That's 1. Second isolated movement. This, after you release it, you lift it up for the fast motion high punch. So 1, 2. Let's do it together. Right. So there's 2 small movements that are in between the movements. Second thing about this back fist into release punch is that it's quite robotic. When you throw your technique, you freeze it, and then you prep, freeze. So all right, so it's pretty robotic. But then when you go to the next side, because remember you switch, then all of a sudden you move really gracefully. So you go robotic and then release. And I do that sine wave gracefully, and then I go into robotic again, where I lock that, I isolate the movement, and then we go back into graceful motion. Okay? So let's do a few of those. I want to go in each direction with those movements in place. So they're isolated movements, the freezing of the body, okay, and then the relaxing. 1 count, we're going to go from both directions. I'm going to my left because you guys should go with your left too, because you start with your left in Chungun. And hada. Go. Up. Up. Last one. That's up. Throw and shot. All right. Moving from that into the double forearm kick. Sorry, double forearm punch, kick, double forearm, and so forth. First of all, let's just remember the sequence. Okay, from this punch, we remember that it's, if you want to do it along with me so that you remember, your right leg comes in and your left leg comes out, double forearm. That first move right there, because I'm looking here, when I throw my technique, I use that whole last second twist of my body. Here, I step out into a walking stance to the front, but my hips, shoulders, and head, they turn at the last second. My leg is already out, whips. Watch how it performs. 1, 2. So whip this, arms and head at the last second, but your leg comes out first. 1, sine wave, the leg comes out, and then you throw your body. This will add that extra torque, extra sharpness, and your face, if it whips forward, eyes up, it just looks that much more sharper. So 1, okay? So let's try a few of those. I want your right leg should go to the side, and your right leg comes in, left leg comes out. Don't forget the sine wave, but just as important, don't forget that last second whip of your body. And ready? 1, twist, hips. 2, 3, 4, 5, and throw. Shut. Only in that part of the double forearm block, in that sequence of moving back into your X, where you have that head whip advantage. I call it an advantage because it makes the whole body looks that much sharper. In the second double forearm block, because you're already facing that direction, you can't whip your head anymore. You could only whip your head when you're going from one direction to another. And guys, it is an advantage. So you need to practice it and you need to make it work for you. If you're just depending on technique of your arms, posture, and so forth, and your kicks, no, the head whip is what makes it almost theatrical in a sense that it allows your pattern performance just so much better, okay? So make sure that you're practicing the whip and you're using it to your advantage. Just give me 1 second here. All right, so from that 1, 2, you do an L stance punch with your front arm. And then when you throw the side kick with your back leg, so that would be next, right? Double forearm, L stance punch, side kick, double forearm. What you want to use from after the side kick is, since you throw a side kick side facing, when you throw the technique, you twist your hips straight in front of you. So side, twist. Okay, so let's get that sequence first. It's 1, L stance, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get that twist in, double forearm block. Last one, Hana, 2, step, net. All right. Now, one thing we want to add too from here, how to make that sharp, is lock, lock. After you throw your side kick, this is where it becomes tricky. You lock the kick, then when you pull it back, you kick it, you pull it back, and then you prep for a double forearm block. Remember in yoga, I taught you to prepare for a double forearm block like that, right? One arm is farther than the other. So after we kick, we should do that. So I went here, boom. I get into this position. Then I throw it. I'm going to demonstrate that for you. This way and that way. So we go from 1, lock. A little bit better on the balance, obviously. Kick, prep. That's the key. Kick, prep. All right, I'll do this side. All right, so the idea again is hold, prep, hold. All right, and then the second part, because you do another side kick, it's actually just a guarding block. Okay? So we go from here, 1, 2, 3, double forearm, and then you repeat the L stance kick. L stance, second side kick. But on the second side kick, you go into a guarding block now. All right? We'll stop with that, and I'm going to move on to the next move from that because those moves kind of repeat. I want to do it again so that you know exactly where I am. High punch. Ana. Two. Set. Outside punch. Net. Sack kick again. That's up. Now it's guarding block. Okay, before I landed in a double form, now I'm landing in a guarding block. The next move from the guarding block is a palm pressing block. It looks like this. Okay, I'm blocking a front snap kick to my groin and a punch with my upward block, just like in the beginning. This is an upward block. This is a palm pushing block in the bottom. It's called a palm pressing block. From the guard, the one that's in my chest goes to the bottom. The one that's in the front blocks up top. So because it's in the bottom and up top, the backwards motion always is do the opposite. Okay, this is where it goes. So you go the opposite. All right, you go the opposite and you drop. Guard, opposite of it, drop. Guard, opposite, drop. Now, I do it very, very specifically, but that's essentially what's happening. It's a block, and the reason why I do specifically so that we could unify the way we perform it. And it's almost like as though every school has a different way of doing the backwards motion, and I want ours to be very distinct in how we do it. One thing that I want to show from the guard is that the preparation portion is our arms are out in front of us. So from here, put your arms out in front of you. Bring your legs in to prepare, arms out in front of us. From the chest, because it's gonna go down, right? It goes up, and the other one goes down. Now from that position, I do the block. You saw that the one that's on my chest is the one that's coming up. The one that's in the front goes down. And both of them goes out away from you. The common mistake is people bring them up, but like close to your body. So it's still up, but it's close. I want it far. It just looks better that way. So from here, up, out, then you go into this motion of the block. This is performed in a slow motion, but what you want to do is, so from the L stance, you go into a walking stance, but you have to come in and out. So it goes here, I'll perform it. This is called a low stance, which means two shoulder width. It's longer than your usual L stance. A low stance is half. It's a half of a shoulder longer. Because a walking stance is 1.5 in length. Low stance is 2 shoulder length. So it's long. Boom. You want to go longer on the stance. Kwaran and Chumbu, it'll depend too, because lately I haven't been seeing any of the red belts attending our classes, so I kind of take it from there. But I would like to rotate and go into some of the red belt, black belt patterns. All right, at this time, we're gonna do some sparring techniques, and we're just gonna reiterate the step downward kick principles. It's a basic one, at least at this stage, but I wanna just speak about traveling, because that's also a very important part of that kick, is essentially me being able to be from one place and then travel as far as I can, as fast as I can with right. Typically when I do that with a kick, it's not effective. Like if I was to go two squares far, and that's far for a kick, typically I won't be able to cause any damage. It's just too far, and I'll lose height and power by the time I get to 2 squares. But this step downward kick allows me to travel so much. So let's practice for the mechanic, and then I'll teach you how to travel further. The mechanic is stepping in, stepping out. We remember that. But a common mistake is we skip. So we do both of them together. And that's wrong, because when you do both of them together, you don't have the stepping position to leap forward. So that's why what you want to do is bring your front leg in first. Okay? 1, and then from that step, your other foot steps. And I go on the balls of my foot. If you just listen for a moment, it goes, all right, I'll make it louder. Okay, I'm stepping, step. Let's try that. Your hands are up, I'm relaxed, and pop, pop. Okay, when I step now, I want you to step forward. Okay, hands are up, right, pop, pop. That's what we're gonna do. Let's practice that, the quick stepping forward. And Hana, so I go 1, 2, and then I step out again into the position. So this is my starting position. I step in, I step out, and then I step forward again. Okay, that's what's happening. In, out, forward. Hana, it's fast. Pa, pa, pa. So, step, that's okay. From that double step, here we have the downward kick. So we go 1, 2, lift up. But when we lift up, it's not just lifting, you're actually lifting, and then your heel of the base foot, this one, my heel pops forward. Because when I pop forward, the double step, when I lift and pop forward, I travel. And that's what you want. You want to travel. Because what that looks like, guys, especially if it's in sequence, combination, I counter them, they won't think I could travel that far. They're gonna think that, someone that's far from me is no threat to me. Because I know by the time they even get to me, I'll be able to read it and counter. But this downward kick is so deceptive that they're coming at you, and all of a sudden they have a powerful strike at the end of that. So that's why this traveling is so effective. Okay, so let's try that. Boom, boom, lift up and slide. Okay, double step, lift and slide. That's right. So you want to feel yourself floating away. So and remember, you're not doing a skip. Okay, it's harder to travel that way. You want to do a quick double step, lift it up and slide. Quick double step, lift it up and slide. And then it's downward kick. All right, guys, so that's our step downward kick. Those are the principles. Let's all take a seat for a moment as I talk about our word. It's care, and not caring for people, although we know that that's very important. I speak about that often. I'm talking about the acronym for those who remember. CARE is an acronym, C-A-R-E. It's really the idea of me teaching you something, and then you being able to perform it and use it at the appropriate time. I could teach you self-defense moves and make the scenarios and simulate it for you, teach you how to yell and all that stuff, but it's so different to when you're getting rocked. I could teach you like counter techniques, like counter side kick, counter back kick, dodging and blitzing and stuff, and even drill it with you, perform it and get your partner to drill it with you, but you doing it in a tournament where there's people watching you, where your opponent's actually a little bit intimidating or they're more powerful, or if you're in a high caliber tournament and there was a lot going for this and you don't want to lose, you want that championship, the nerves, the adrenaline, the pressure of losing and all that kind of stuff, it just changes the whole game altogether. And that's what I want to be able to bring you to. I could bring you guys to learning it and practicing it. That part is easy. It's learning it and then using it is the hardest part. So something like being able to do a Christmas, which we all know is counter reverse hooking kick from somebody trying to do a tourniquet to your body, right? For you be able to do that under pressure and having the confidence to do it and not doubting yourself, and even the technicalities to be able to pull it off, it's going to require the middle portion. Okay, so let's remember what the acronym is. C is for comprehension. A is for application. R is for repetition. And E is for execution. Just like I said, execution is being able to use it at those scenarios. Somebody trying to hurt you, real life or death, or a tournament, and it's all the pressure that's in there. Comprehension is your ability to learn something. You cannot practice and use something that you never understood properly, unless it's a fluke. For you to be able to use it on the right timing with confidence, and you could use it again for future reference, you must have understood it. Those who understand the game, those who understand timing and movement, they're dangerous because they're looking for the right opportunity to attack. All right, so it starts with understanding. Once you understand it, once you understand how to twist, how to bend your ankle, how to, move your head, all these different elements of learning a technique, then you can practice it right. That's application. That's called applying what you know. So you can't apply something you don't know. That's why comprehension is so important. But at the same time, you could understand it and then not apply it in practice. So which is also very silly, but you'll be surprised. A lot of people do that, where they understand what I'm trying to say, and then once they start practicing it, they start going back to old habits. And I tell them to keep their hands up and throw the jab while your hand's up here. But then, okay, yes, sir, awesome. But then when they practice, they throw their hands down here, and they're not disciplined in keeping it up. And the list goes on with different techniques, right? So application means what you learn, you actually do in practice training. So now you're applying it correctly. But moving forward from that, applying it in one time, 2 times, it's not gonna bring you, I can't learn something and understand it and practice it like this once or twice, and then expect to use it in a real scenario. Remember the context of the pressure and the nervousness of those situations. You can't, because your body kind of goes back to default, whatever it's used to. In order to break that default, it's the R. It's the repetition. Because the repetition breaks your old habits. And it'll teach you how to use the right hands and move your head at the right place, so that when you're at execution part, you're not thinking about it anymore. It's all instinct. You're just relying on the R. You're relying on what you drilled, what you did, countless of hours, countless of reps, all the sweat, all the muscle pain from all drilling it. And that's how it really works. Once you learn how to do a counter back kick, you're supposed to do it literally 10,000 times. And that's not a lot, because back kicks you do often. So that when you use it, it's effortless. Whenever you see a movement, you don't even say, I'm gonna do a back kick. It kind of just happens, right? That's because execution will only happen, especially under that scenario, if you've drilled it correctly with the right understanding. So it all really happens together. I hope you guys understand that, right? Have a nice day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah. Hey, son.